Welcome to On the Move, a business record effort that aims to help you hear directly from leaders who are shaping Iowa's business community. I'm your host, Chris Conetzkey, President and Group Publisher of the Business Record, and we've got a fantastic leader with us here today. Anna Mason is the owner of Anna Mason Consulting, which works with business leaders to hire the right fit for their team, engage employees, and develop other leaders. So welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, why don't you start off and tell us just a little bit about your business and what you do.
So I'm a management and leadership consultant. I work with businesses to help them with the people strategy of their business. Most of my clients they don't need any help with strategy and vision. What they need help with is translating that strategy and vision to their team members and helping them get aligned with the goals and understand how to execute that vision.
And I would imagine having good people on the team.
And making sure they have the right people on the team. The teams are working well together. That's where I focus my work.
Tell us a little bit about maybe how you got into this and owning your own business and how long you've had the business, some of that background detail.
Sure. So I started my business 5 years ago, which is what I'm celebrating with the business record. I got
and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I started doing this. I used to be a hairstylist and an education director at a hair salon, and I really enjoyed the training and teaching aspect. When I was deciding to make a career shift, I wanted to focus more in that. So I ended up being able to connect with one of my hairstyling clients, who was a management and leadership trainer and consultant. And she was on the edge of, kind of towards the end of her career, ready to retire. So it was just one of those happenstance moments where she was ready to retire and I was ready to step in. And I was able to take over some of her business and continue it and grow it.
So talk a little bit about maybe some of the ways that you do work with businesses.
So I have a couple different ways that I work with businesses. One is through a behavioral assessment called the Predictive Index. So behavioral assessments, a lot of companies are using these now. They measure motivating drives, kind of how we're wired. And that really helps businesses understand who's walking in the door, how they can fit on a team, communication styles, that sort of thing. So I do a lot of consulting around that tool. But I also do leadership training. So I partner with the Elite 5 leadership training program. And I got into that because I had so many people coming to me as newly promoted leaders, really struggling with just the tactical aspects of leadership. How do you host a one-on-one? How do you run that? How do you help people? How do you guide people towards their goals? Big one, how do you have tough conversations? I don't know if you've ever had to have a tough conversation.
I'll never have had a tough conversation. Ever at Business Record. We have fantastic staff and never had any personnel issues at all.
Never. So when people have to have them, which is hopefully infrequently, it can be a really challenging for a new leader to have those conversations. So I got into this training program because I wanted to help leaders with that tactical training, but also this program incorporates one-on-one coaching. So I get to kind of be their personal trainer as well.
When you're looking at that hiring process, what are maybe some of the things that the tool and your consulting has helped businesses with when they are at that hiring stage? Maybe some things that you've helped them avoid or encourage?
A lot of what it is helping, I think one of the most powerful aspects is that using the tool, you help businesses really hone in on what's critical about a certain role. So you get alignment on that. So that's one really important aspect. And then you can assess candidates and see how they're naturally wired and how that connects to that role. You're never going to get a perfect fit. That's not the point. But it does help people interview better. And if you've ever interviewed somebody, it's kind of like speed dating. You're really trying to figure out who they are and if they're going to be a good fit for you in a matter of minutes, maybe hours, but still not a lot of time. So I think it's a data point that helps people hire the right fit.
I always feel like when some of our best hires have been folks that we've had an opportunity to get to know a little bit better, and so I imagine this is a way to speed up that process of getting to know somebody.
Exactly. It really helps you understand and kind of get to the meat of how they're what they enjoy doing most, how they're naturally motivated, and how that connects to your goals.
There's a number of folks that are in the space of leadership consulting. What do you think helps set you apart in that field?
Certainly partnering with tools like the Predictive Index and programs like Elite 5. The other thing I really try to focus on is, and I think it's the through line between all of what I do, is emotional intelligence. So really honing in on building those skills for leaders, which one thing that's kind of neat is, the Predictive Index measures how you're wired. That doesn't really change, but emotional intelligence is a skill you can grow. And there's ways to do it. So I love coaching leaders on how to, how they can refine their style, their communication style, so that they can be a better leader and engage their team better. So, yeah.
What would you say, I'm sure you get the opportunity to interact with a lot of organizations. What are maybe some of the key issues that you're seeing organizations try to navigate that you find yourself trying to help more with?
That's a great question. Currently, there's just a lot of uncertainty. And I know that the Business Record has done a lot of articles about uncertainty here in Des Moines and in Iowa. But I think that's just common across businesses right now. That's what I'm seeing is, markets are shifting, the labor force is shifting, new generations are coming into the workforce. And there's just a lot of, how do I manage all of this? So how to continue to make decisions when there's not a lot of data or secure data, and then how to communicate that to your team members so that they stay engaged. That is really a challenge for me as a consultant, but also for my clients. So that's kind of what we're really focusing on right now, is managing uncertainty, communicating through it, supporting people through that.
I can't have a conversation in any fashion where the word uncertainty doesn't show up in some way. Everybody's feeling that and experiencing it. I write something to our staff every Monday morning. I just wrote about it this week and was saying the ability to sit in uncertainty and the ability to not have to react right away to because there's so many things you can be uncertain about. That can be a big challenge for folks. So I imagine when you're hiring people and you're trying to make plans and strategies around that, that creates an extra dynamic.
Yes, it does. And what you said about sitting with uncertainty, that can be very challenging for leaders who are very driven and are used to pushing and to slow down and just have to manage that uncertainty is something that you have to practice.
5 years of running the business. What's maybe something you're most proud about with having your business for 5 years?
That's a great question. I think I'm most proud of how I've been able to add to my offerings. So when I started, I was just doing the Predictive Index, and now I have an executive coaching certificate. I'm certified in Elite 5, and I'm also certified in emotional intelligence training. So being able to build on my offerings, but also learning. I love to learn, and I've been able to do that through this business.
I wonder, since you get to do the executive coaching, what are maybe some issues you notice that maybe you're surprised that, because oftentimes CEOs, there's a perception they know everything, right?
Yeah.
That they have everything figured out. They don't. They've got insecurities too.
Yeah.
I have them. I'm sure you do as well. What's maybe something that you see bubbling to the surface maybe more frequently than you thought would be?
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know if this will be a surprise, but I think what happens, what comes out in these one-on-one coaching meetings is a lot of imposter syndrome. And again, like you said, these are people that are at the top of their careers, extremely successful, but still feel less than sometimes. So for different people, it shows up differently. For some people, it shows up in how they communicate, and they don't feel like they're fully able to express themselves. So we work on that, or express what they want. And in other people, it it affects their decision making. They don't feel confident in the decisions that they make. So we work on that.
Yeah.
The key with imposter syndrome is that it never goes away. It's just kind of sitting with it and managing it and moving through it.
Well, maybe I'll get some advice from you at some point. let's talk a little bit about, maybe about where you hope the business goes in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Put the timeline out a little bit more. Just what are you curious, maybe in the next 5 years, what that would look like?
I'd like to continue doing what I'm doing, but just more of it. Since a lot of my offerings are new, this Elite 5 program that I'm working with is new. It's a leadership program. I'd like to expand it more throughout my client base and here in Des Moines. What's neat about that program is that it's virtual. So I have people that attend the class from all over the country. And the coaching sessions are also virtual. So, which is really neat. I can make an impact and see an impact, outside of my community as well.
One of the goals of this is to help people know who you are also. So why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and your background? You're not from Iowa originally, so talk a little bit about your background.
I'm originally from Minnesota, so Midwestern. But I came to Des Moines.
You wanted to come someplace warmer.
Yes, I did. Although I was on the ski team in Minnesota.
Gotcha. So you're missing that part.
I do miss the snow. I really do. So I'm from Minnesota originally, came down here about 15 years ago. I love Des Moines. I love a small community where you get to actually enjoy the offerings of a small city like this. I love running. I've run races. I've run the Des Moines Marathon a couple times. I've run a couple other marathons. I try to run one a year. But one of my favorite things to do around Des Moines is bike on the trails and attend some of the festivals. Yeah. I just like doing stuff like that, low key.
Outside of work, are there any either nonprofit work that you do or things that you're involved in organization-wise in the community?
I'm involved with the West Side Chamber of Commerce. Great. And that's been really great to connect with people. I'm also part of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. So right now I'm focusing on connecting with other business leaders and learning from them if I can.
Yeah. Is there a community issue or something that you maybe wish? We just had our 40 under 40 work, and one question I always ask is, what's a wish for the Central Iowa community? It's always just interesting, especially for people that aren't originally from here, to go, what would you like to see this community kind of evolve into, or something that you think the community could benefit from?
That's a good question. Can I think about that one for a second?
You got it.
I think I'm just going to answer authentically now. I think Des Moines does a really good job with the community, so it's hard to think outside of that. And I'm sure there is something, but I can't really think of anything right now.
It's okay.
Pass on that one.
Maybe what would you like the business community to know about you and how you operate?
I think that what I'd like the community to know about my business and how I operate is that I'm just trying to help people connect their people strategy to their business strategy in an authentic way. Mm-hmm. So I love to customize solutions. I'm not here to say, to prescribe particular tools necessarily. I like to use the tools holistically to come up with solutions that fit the need of the business.
Back to maybe some advice. What advice would you give new leaders that's something that we're spending a lot of time on? There's a lot of brand new leaders in the community.
Oh yeah.
What's maybe one piece of advice that you would offer up?
I would say definitely get some help. And this goes back to your question about what I wish I could see more in the community is more support for new leaders. Mm-hmm. A lot of organizations promote really talented people, but don't necessarily have programs that provide that how-to. Mm-hmm. And I think even at executives at the top, everybody needs help. Everybody needs someone to be able to talk to about their challenges, or they need a community to support them through challenges.
Okay, we're going to do kind of the rapid fire at the end here. So what you mentioned some of the things you do in your free time. One thing we'd find you doing in your free time?
Running.
No more skiing, or do you still get a chance to go?
I can't do that anymore. There's hardly any snow. Yeah, so unfortunately, no more skiing.
The biggest business pet peeve you have?
Accounting. Definitely numbers stuff.
You just wish the money would come in and just show up.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I do have help for that, but yeah.
When you play music, maybe a song or an artist that you'd have on?
I love, I'm really into outlaw country right now.
Okay.
So I love that station on Sirius XM, or I love the Avett Brothers. This comes to mind.
All right. Favorite movie or TV show?
I am, let's see here, favorite movie, Pulp Fiction.
Okay. I was trying to think of a quote right off the bat, but I'm not gonna even try. Who knows what trouble that'll get us in. Favorite place to eat in Des Moines?
Favorite place to eat in Des Moines? The Cheese Bar.
Good choice. A business book maybe that you're reading or that you'd advise folks to read?
I just finished, I think it's called Sticking Points. It's about brevity. Good job.
Leave it there.
Yeah,
Brevity.
I'll just leave it there.
Last question for you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
I am just very honored to have my business here in Des Moines and to be a part of such a great community. So I just thank you for celebrating it with me.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us for On the Move. I'm really grateful to have fantastic leaders like you in the community, and I'm glad to have gotten to know you a little bit and learn from you today. We know that one of the secrets of this community success is the way we connect on a personal level with each other. So do me a favor, as Anna's on the move and celebrating her 5th anniversary, reach out to her, congratulate her, and maybe find a way to help give her an extra hand as she works in the future to help continue shaping the leadership in our community. Thanks again for watching. I'm Chris Conetzkey, president of the Business Record, and I'll see you next time for On the Move.